Hey guys, so I was asked to go over the Rosie Marie Bly case, which is Candace's sister who went missing. People wanted to know if these cases were at all related, so I went over the case and I did a reading for it. What I found was very interesting. These cases are nowhere related. No one in Candace's family harmed Rosie or Rose Marie Bly. No one harmed her from that family. I did pick out some interesting details from this case, a few. The person who harmed Rosie was in law enforcement, a police, a judge, a detective, someone like that. I would guess a policeman, something like that. Definitely. Alchemy and Justice, he worked in justice, law enforcement. 100%, it was so clear, it was so vivid, and I couldn't even pick up I couldn't pick up a whole lot on this case, but there were some things I feel like I picked up definitively. This person works in law enforcement, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. She met him. Um, she didn't tell her husband she was meeting this man. I think they were having a relationship, whether that be based on money, sexual and money. She was getting money from this person for advancement in sex, or she was having a relationship with him, but she met up with this person. This person made it to think that they dropped her vehicle back at a truck stop to make it appear that maybe she was picked up there, or a trucker possibly could have done this or something like this. But this man was very smart, very smart. I got that in the intellectual card. He was very, very smart, and made this case very hard. But I was actually shocked when I kind of shocked when I found out that this man worked in law enforcement. So not that I thought Candace or her husband Don was involved. I was just kind of blown away by getting that. I don't know much about this case, to be honest with you. I know that she was supposedly Candace's sister. Her body just disappeared. Her husband called it in. He took a lie detector test. He passed. I still thought, maybe it's possible that her husband was involved some way or another, but luckily and thankfully that's not the case, because they were going through relationship problems. But he is not involved, and he was quite upset about this. But no, she was having another type of relationship of some sort. It is also possible that someone that she worked with, a boss, a manager she worked with, knew or has seen this man who's come into her work. I had to look up where she actually worked, and it looked like a restaurant and bar. I believe this man could have possibly came in by the leadership card. I believe that this man possibly came into her work sometimes. She might have met him at her work at this bar. But yes, it's a man in law enforcement. This was kind of hard to do and kind of hard to go into, because if someone sees this, if the person who did this sees this, I feel like I'm going to be, he could come after me. Now, try to look up and do detective work and get information on me. So this was not easy to do for me. And I really debated even posting this, because I'm still in the video, but I'm going to post this. This isn't live. So, but I felt like the family, people needed to know. I heard that they're reopening her case, and I feel like the detective on this case, people need to know about her disappearance. There is one thing that I really am certain of, and that is that he worked in law enforcement, and that he possibly came into her work, where she worked, I'm pretty certain he come into her work. I'm not 100% certain, but I am very 100% very, 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 very certain that this man worked in law enforcement. I'm really sure that he came into her workplace and that the head over where she works, the manager or boss, has seen him, may even know him. But this man worked in law enforcement. This is something I'm sure of. He's a very smart man as well. Very intellectual, very smart. And she disappeared. Now, I need to look in more and to see if he took her, where he took her. It would be not too close to where her car was located. I think it would be a great distance off, and made sure she wouldn't be found. And this was over 10 years ago. And then drove her car back to the location, to a truck stop. And this isn't like a big town or anything. This law enforcement person probably had friends. I don't know if he had someone to help him, because I didn't get that from my reading, that he had other people helping him and assisting him. But it does seem like this case wasn't thoroughly investigated as it should have been, unfortunately. But I wanted to go in and I went into 2 decks. I need to go in and read more because I'm very intrigued. And I felt a connection to Rose, and where I was able to go in and read about her because of that connection I felt to her. That being said, I'm going to get off of here, but that was very awakening to me, for this case, because I really didn't have a whole lot of information. Some simple things about this case, but not a whole lot of information to go on. But this, people have thought that it was related to, Candace or her mother or Don, that one of them had something to do. Because how does 2 people disappear from a family, like this? The Summers aunt went missing 10 years ago from another state. Now, this is completely unrelated. I don't feel like she was super close to Candace and them. I don't feel like she was close to them at all at this point in time. Not like they were seeing her all the time or talking to her all the time. I feel like Candace's mother was in touch with her daughter. I feel like that, especially over the phone and things. Candace's mother, which is Rose's mother also, and Rose disappeared. I feel like she was in touch with her mom, but she wasn't that close to Candace and Don, them. It was just, this is 2 separate cases. They are unrelated completely. I didn't know, so that's why I read into it. But they are completely unrelated. I still think 100% that, they supposedly passed the lie detector test too. I don't know if it's been proven that they took lie detector tests. I haven't asked into this. I was trying to get simple details about location of her, how she passed, and who was involved, things like that. Well, I do feel that Candace and her husband knows about this, and they had something to do with it. I got that really clearly. And if you go back, you can watch my other videos. I do think they're involved with Summer, but I don't think they're involved with the Aunt Rosie, Marie Bly. Completely unrelated. But I heard that they are probably, or they have opened her case, which is a great thing. I hope that this is solved. No one should be out there living free. People worrying about her, friends worrying, family worrying about her disappearance, and she was never found. But I do think that this person, it's scary to think that someone in law enforcement is still in law enforcement and harm somebody like this. I mean, how many, this could have happened other times, it's scary to think about it, but this is what happened. I'm sure of it. So I hope this was at all helpful to you guys. I do feel like a push to read more into this case now, because of what I got, and there was just a deep connection with me in this case. And that's not always the case. Of course, I haven't went live or did YouTube videos for many cases like this. I think the first one that I went and did on that I went and made a video for was the Evelyn Boswell case. So I was very good with that. I did very well with that case, even up to the point of Maggie being arrested the week leading. I said she would be arrested in a week, and a week later she was arrested. There was a lot I picked up on that case too. But there's been other cases since her case, but I haven't felt like a connection or a pull to read into it, because I have to feel like a deep connection to a case to kind of work into it. Like, I see their pictures, I feel a connection, I read into it. I want to do good readings. I want to be able to pick up a lot. Now, I can do other cases too, and I will be able to pick up some things, but I have to really want to get to feel a connection and a deep interest in the case. And if you're not feeling that, you know, you can't get as much. So I like to do cases where I feel like I can actually get information, and a lot of accurate information. So I even feel like this case with Marie Bly is just even stronger. You know, I felt more of a connection to Rosie, almost like I knew her, that I could see her personality and a lot about her before I even did the reading, which was helpful to me. But I still had no clue about who did this. So the reading gave me a lot, I feel. You know, it's still not as much to go on, because what happened to her, I have to read more into it. I'm going to pull out my Earth Magic deck, which is really earth-based, around the world type, but it's got a lot of cards that can give me a little more information than I can get from my Avalon and Map decks. So these are Oracle decks specifically, and then I'll tie in Tarot to it as well. But yeah, so and then I mean, I occasionally use Pendulum and all that, but that's better for yes and no things, and if I'm just trying to debate on something. So I really do stick to Oracle, Tarot, meditation, just getting you know, different things to work on. But yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will follow up if I can put anything more out. But I really do feel that this should be known. I even went on, almost called in about this, and I've never felt compelled to before, because people don't believe or listen to psychics or people who do readings and things like that. People don't, you know, you call in law enforcement, they're not going to hear, they just think you want to be known or you're crazy. So if you call in, they're going to think you're just, you know, I haven't felt compelled until this case. And I really wanted to call in and be like, hey, this person is in law enforcement. That's how strong I felt towards it. I really wanted to call, but I know what they're going to say or think, or I hope that someone will. And I'm debating it, because I was on, and I almost did last night. I did this reading last night, and I almost contacted the authorities over it, because that's how I'm very empathetic, and I felt like I know this, like this one is very strong to me, and I feel like it needs to be known. But then who's going to, you know, listen to us? Because most of the time they won't take you seriously. You have to have proof or evidence or witness something, because if you're a psychic, you're just, you know. But, you know, I can't say what happened. I can't say where she's at and things like that. I'm going to read more into this case to find out more. But what I do feel is that, you know, whoever was in law enforcement in this town back then, they need to go over who she worked with and see if someone in law enforcement come in to her work, and have these people thoroughly interviewed. I mean, will you find out any information? Will they tell you anything? Likely they're not going to say that they met up with her or knew her, but hopefully they can possibly get something to go on, because I feel like this case really needs to be solved. I mean, how would you feel? You know, there's a lot of other unsolved cases, but there's killers among us. There are people that have gotten away with things. You know, we try to solve these, or try to help, because we feel empathetic, and it just drives us crazy. It drives me crazy knowing that there's people out there like this, that's gotten away with murder and things, and that were never found, and that justice was never served, which is not right. So um, I hope that her family, if they see this, that they are not upset at me for doing this reading or the other readings I've done. I always say that because I try to help, and I really try to help, and that's all. That is my goal, is to help. I mean, to help the family and to help other people to see into this. It's not to. I don't want to upset family and other people, friends or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because I've been on here rambling this past little while, and I'm almost at 16 minutes in. So I just wanted to go in and let you know what I picked up. The cases are unrelated. I went into this not knowing if they were or not, but they are completely unrelated. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if this video was at all helpful, if you liked it, like this channel, subscribe, comment, and I will try to message or comment you back, and have a great day. Bye.